What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's currently Friday 9:07 a.m. and 4.998 inches of rain have fallen. This chapter is called Ann Sheppard, who is the mother of the Origami Killer, and obviously we're following Madison Page.
Hello, I'm looking for Ann Sheppard's room.
Please sign the visitor's book. Are you a member of the family?
Yeah, you could say that.
Oh, she'll be pleased to have a visitor. No one ever comes to see her. With the Alzheimer's, she has trouble remembering things, but it'll still please her, you know. It's room 19 at the end of the corridor.
Thank you.
Alrighty, we're heading to room 19. Should be one of the last ones in this corridor.
John Sheppard died 30 years ago. Hope his mother has all the answers to this puzzle. Room 19. Where is that?
There's room 17, so it should be the next one on the right. Here we go.
Hello, Mrs. Sheppard.
Is it time for my pills already?
No, Mrs. Sheppard,
They're never on time with my pills. I don't know what they do here. In the other hospital, they were always on time. But here...
My name is Madison Page. I'm a journalist. I'd like to ask you some questions about your son.
I don't like this hospital. The food isn't very good, you know.
Your other son, Mrs. Sheppard, John's twin brother. What was his name?
What other son? Oh, I have no other son. I never had any children.
Try to remember, Mrs. Sheppard. John's twin brother was placed with a foster family after the accident. What was the name of the foster family?
I asked them for a television, you know. They said I didn't have enough money. It's a pity. I'm fond of television.
Do you remember John?
My Johnny. He is a good little boy, you know.
You had a son named John, and John had a twin brother.
Do you have my pills? It's time for my pills.
I know what happened at Carnaby Square. Do you remember?
Carnaby Square. I think I used to live there a long time ago. We didn't have much money at the time, you know. We had to make do with very little.
Mrs. Sheppard, your son may be linked to a series of murders. Perhaps you have some information that could help the investigation.
Are you a new nurse? Where are my pills?
I think your son is in trouble, Mrs. Sheppard. He's done some terrible things. I need to find him. Do you understand?
Terrible things you're telling me. He never came to see me, can you believe it? In 10 years, never. No one forgets their mother, do they?
Are these your children, Mrs. Sheppard? John and his brother? Is that them?
They're good little boys. Their father never looked after them, always drinking. They didn't have an easy life, you know.
What we have to do is find things around the room that are going to trigger memories of Ann Sheppard, so that photo seemed to do the trick. And that drawer is empty, okay. We definitely had to go back into the hallway. There were orchids in a vase out there. We had to bring one back and put it in that one that was right in front of us.
Did you make these origami figures?
My little paper animals. They played with them for hours. I showed my boys how to make them, you know.
Yes, your boys, Mrs. Sheppard. John and... what was your other son's name again?
My other son? I only had one son, my little Johnny.
Origami seems to be doing the trick, so what do we do here? Okay, so we can make various figures out of this paper. Start the crane, most common one, so maybe that'll trigger a new memory.
I love origami, but that's not my favorite one.
Let's check out the book and see if any correspond with any figures we've seen before. Hummingbird, nope. Ooh, the dog. That's the one that the Origami Killer places in the hands of his victim. And the frog. Okay. Let's try the dog because that one makes the most sense to me. And if this doesn't work, we'll just run down the list and try the others.
Oh, you know how to do these little dogs too. My children loved origami. I taught them how to do it. John loved the little dogs. He always wanted to call them Max. Max, Max, Max? All dogs with the same name. I was wasting my time telling him they couldn't all have the same name. But he always wanted his paper dogs Max. It's funny, isn't it?
And last but not least, we have to hit up the hallway where the orchid is. We'll bring that back, put it in the vase. We'll be good to go. I can't think of anything else that we need to do. It seems like we're really close to finding out the killer's name. And we don't need to talk to her. We have everything set right now. The last piece of the puzzle is in our possession. We just have to make that long trek back to the room. And this is a really freaking nice nursing home for a person that really didn't have any money. And she has her own private room too. God damn, she's living in luxury.
What a lovely orchid. My sons loved orchids. We used to grow them in the back. When John died, I laid orchids on his grave. I cried when they told me. I'd already lost one of my children, and now they were taking away another one, you understand.
The foster family, Mrs. Sheppard. What was the name of the foster family that adopted John's brother?
They were really very nice people. I met them, you know. In the beginning, I used to go and see my little boy. And then I got sick and I couldn't go any longer. Perhaps he thought I'd forgotten him. He must have thought I didn't love him anymore.
His name, Mrs. Sheppard. What was his name?
But I loved him. If you only knew how much I missed him.
Please, Anne. His name. What was his name?
Come closer.